happy anniversary, Gospel Light. My name is James Hendrix. This is my wife, Suzanne Hendrix. And we wanted to just take a minute to talk about Gospel Light and what it means to our family. We've been members here since 2005, and so lots of changes, ups and downs, and it's all been really good for the glory of God. And probably one of the biggest things that we wanted to share with our church family was when we dealt with infertility and not being able to have kids for years, really, for a couple of years. It was a very difficult time in our family, and the church came right alongside of us during that time. And how'd that feel, Suzanne?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really scary time, and so you know, when you're dealing with that as a couple, you don't really want to share it, and you're just kind of going through the motions, and there were several surgeries that we went through, and you know, that didn't correct it, and so we got sent to fertility specialists, and you know, lots of shots and lots of medicine, and so we didn't know what to do. It wasn't working. We were on our last attempt, actually, before we had to move on to a stronger measure. And so, you know, we were just praying, and we just kind of cried out to the church. I mean, well, James led in that, and so that's when he went to preacher. And
I was able to get with our preacher, and he decided the best course of action was to get some men together and to have a time of prayer and anointing. And that's what he did. So he was able to get Dave Wilkie and Brother Dave Chittum together. And we all got together in preacher's office, and they laid their hands on both of us, Suzanne especially, and Suzanne was anointed with oil. And that time of prayer and crying out to God for our family was moving, to say the least.
It's very emotional. I remember that, you know, Brother Dave Wilkie, he started crying, and then Dave Chittum cried, and then I just felt like, you know, this was really our family and our church family crying out to God for us, and crying for us even, and just knowing that if it was God's will, and that's another reason that, you know, it needed to be in God's will. And so the anointing, it just made it feel like that God's hand was in it, and that kind of changed things for us either way, you know, whatever way it went. After that, it meant that we were doing our best, and that it was God's will, and whatever he had planned for us is what we would accept. So
fast forward a few years, we now are the parents of twin 10-year-olds, and this church has been a part of their lives, their whole lives, from Kids Light, Joe, and our small group, and Gospel Light Christian School. It's meant the world to us that now we not only have kids who have been born into our family, but are a part of this Gospel Light family, and it means everything to us. That we are actually we're starting a legacy now, and this church is such a huge part of what that is in our lives. And it's been amazing, and so many people in our lives through this church have really fed our family, and we love Gospel Light for that.
And people, you know, they talk about how, you know, some people will say you need to send your kids to a bigger school and you know, different academic system. And I mean, I just can't imagine that our kids could have any better education and be more loved. Every teacher here knows my kids. They call them the Hendrix twins. They know Isaac is wild, and they know Maddie, and you know, they love them. And you know, Lauren Hoffman actually brought Isaac to the Lord, and we prayed over it, and just everybody helping out. And watching our kids, and like Monica Brown, a very good friend of mine, you know, they still are involved in our kids' lives. She was there in the NICU with us when the kids were there for a month, and she was there with me when I cried, and you know, encouraging, and she's here now. You know, she keeps the kids and takes them to small group on Wednesday night, and just so many people that love us here. And you know, there's just nowhere else that we would be but here at Gospel Light. We've been here for 16, 17 years, and our kids have been here for all 10 of theirs.
They've been baptized this year because of Gospel Light. And the kids, they're here now. We love them. We love Gospel Light. And we want to tell you guys just happy 30th anniversary, Gospel Light.
Happy 30th anniversary, Gospel Light.
We love you.